Piano keys plus music blocks, become a musician with these two new additions and imagine your very own original tracks. Today I'm finally going to become a musician thanks to Fortnite Creative Mode. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here we go. I actually think the hardest thing about this is not going to be making the music, it's actually going to be trying to figure out how to use Creative Mode. So before I actually make a beat, I'm going to go through and I'm going to try out some of these sounds, see how it all works, and try to get my head around these controls. Okay, so we've got some different colors. We got some drums here. Those actually sound pretty good. Some nice 808 sounds. Damn, that's thumpy. There is actually a really decent amount of percussion sounds in here. Impressive. And now moving on to the orange. I'm guessing it's... Okay, it's a super fat bass. That sounds pretty good. Moving on to the blue boy, we have one of the ugliest synth sounds. I'll be able to work with that. It's not the best sounding thing though. Okay, that is an interesting sound. Definitely sounds better than this blue one though. That should come in handy, and let's move on to the last one. Green! That is just a piano, and I'm pretty sure that is exactly the same as... Yeah, that is exactly the same. Okay, so that is all of the sounds. I actually think there is a decent variety. I really like these drum sounds, and this bass sound is actually pretty good as well. Not sure about this one though. Not too sure about the blue one. So I'm quickly just going to try put together a very basic beat. A lot of kicks. Now let's find some hi-hats. Oh, perfect. That one can go in there. And we're also going to need a clap. And we'll just put that one there and we should be good. Let's have a listen to it. That is not sounding too fresh. I think it needs some bass sounds. Okay, so I've added in my bass line. Let's have a listen. Yes! Nice! Next up I'm going to get one of these notes here. I guess we'll just go for the C. Hey! Nice! See how this sounds? Gross. That is a lot louder. Oh yes, I think that is what I'm going to have to do for making my beat. So I actually think the first thing that I need to do is build a tunnel which runs from one side of the map to the other, and then I can just go through and place all of my music notes throughout the tunnel. I think that'll be the easiest way to make a beat, so yeah, let's go ahead and build the tunnel. So that took forever, but I am finally finished. We have one super long boy. So now that I've made my tunnel, I think the next thing that I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go through and place a metronome along the entire floor, just because I feel like it's going to be a little hard to keep track of where I am. So let's just find some sounds which I could use as a metronome. I actually think these two here are going to work, so we'll just take this one, place that there, and we'll also take this one here. Okay, those sound good. So for this beat, I'm basically just going to have the grid snap set to 4, and I'm just going to treat each block placement as a separate beat. I'm thinking I should be able to get 32 bars out of this tunnel. Nope, that is looking pretty good to me. Okay, so now we've got our metronome. Now we can go through and start placing in our notes. So I think the first thing that I'm going to add in is going to be some chords, and I might actually use this piano sound for that. So I'm just going to bring some notes here which I can use. We'll take C, we'll grab that D sharp as well, and I'm also going to grab a G. So that should be our first chord there. Let's go ahead and add it to the tunnel. And that one can go in there. And lastly, we have G, which will just have to go on an angle. Yeah, that actually sounds nice, apart from all of these snare sounds which I'll put around here. I'll be getting rid of them. I just put them there so I could figure out where I'd be placing all of the notes. Okay, so the first chord is done. Let's move on to the next one. So for this chord, we're going to need... Nice! Let's go ahead and place this chord into our tunnel. So I'm going to put this chord... I think that can go there. Okay, so we've got our first two chords. Let's have a listen to them. This is gonna take a really long time. I might just skip forward until I've finished my whole chord progression. God, okay, so that took a lot longer than I was expecting. I'm sure it took me nearly an hour, but at least it is all finally done. So I've just gone ahead and put my chord progression down the entire tunnel. I think I got to 32 bars. It's a decent length. So I'm quickly just gonna walk through and play a little bit of the progression. I won't play the whole thing because it is essentially just a loop. Let's do this. Yes. And there we go, so it just loops all the way down here. Oh my god. There we go. So now I've done my chords, I think it is time to move on to the next instrument, which I'm just going to guess is going to be the drums. So first up, we're going to have to go through and find some samples to use. I think I might actually use this first kick here. I might actually use a combo of this snare as well as a clap. Now let's see how those sound together. Nice! So now let's move over and find some hi-hats. I think I'm going to go with this one. Let's grab that. I'm just putting together a little test beat so I can actually see how all the sounds sound together. Okay, that is looking good. Let's have a listen to it. Actually sounds pretty decent. I might actually just grab this sound here and I'm going to place it at the start. See how that sounds. Yeah, that works really well. So I think these are going to be my basic drum sounds. If I need any more percussion sounds, I can go back and grab them later on. But yeah, anyway, let's start off by laying down this hi-hat. How far have I done? I think that should be the last one right there. Oh yeah. Got them trap hi-hats. Okay, so that took quite a while, but I finally finished off my drum beat. I added on a few extra drum sounds on top of the kick and snare, so I put in this open hi-hat here, and then I've got these two woodblock sounds here, which I've actually lined up to be off the grid. And yeah, that's my drum beat. Let's go ahead and have a listen to it. Nice, that sounds pretty good to me. Now I think it is time to move on to the next instrument, which is just gonna be this bass line here. This one here should be fairly easy. I'm just going to grab all of the notes that I need. Grab that one. We'll also grab the G sharp while we're at it. And we might need that F. And I think the last one we're going to need is this A sharp sound here. Actually, I'm also going to grab the octaves for these notes here. So we'll grab the octave for G sharp. And I'm going to need the A sharp as well. And it doesn't exist. Where's my A sharp? So it looks like there's no A sharps in the high octave. That kind of just ruins my idea, but it should be alright. Anyway, let's get to work and start bringing in this bass line. Flip you over, and this one can go up here. And so just gotta flip you over, and I think the G can go in there. Let's give that a try. Yes! Nice, so the next note we're going to need is the G sharp. I think on the snare will do, just right there. And I think this is going to be our finished bass line. Okay, so my bass line is taken care of, so now it is time to move on to the melody. I think I'm going to use a combination of this sound here and this one for the melody. I think we'll just start things off with this highest C sound, and for this one I'm actually going to draw the melody out on the ground first so I can have some idea of how it's going to sound. That should be the final melody. Let's go ahead and have a listen to it. Ooh, yeah. Perfect, that actually sounds pretty good. So now the last thing that I need to do is just take this melody here, put it in the tunnel, and then my beat is going to be finished. So after spending 5 whole hours on it, here is my finished beat, which was made in Fortnite Creative Mode. Enjoy! So there we go, that is my Fortnite Creative Mode beat. It was probably the most tedious thing which I've ever done, and I really hope that I never have to make music in Fortnite ever again. Unless it gets a whole lot of views, then maybe I will. So as usual, make sure to go ahead and let me know what you thought of this beat down in the comments, and also make sure to go ahead and use the creator code DOLANDARK when you buy anything from the Fortnite item shop, like this questionable skin. And yeah, I'll see all of you in the next couple of days for my next upload. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.